2020 has been a wild ride for Dart, Zone, Nerf, and other blaster brands. Looking back, there's been a lot of good and also a lot of not so good. Today I want to have a casual discussion about blaster innovation and also my top 5 favorite blasters of this year. This list is not meant to be comprehensive, it's just based on my own personal, limited experience with the blasters I got this year. For example, the popular Aeon Pro wouldn't be on this list because I couldn't find one in stores. Honestly, I just want to talk about what put a smile on my face. And we'll also have time to go over some honorable mentions of things that really caught my eye as well. My first honorable mention goes to the Nerf rival Roundhouse, which I still think is a solid rival pistol. A lot of people may disagree with me. I do think the Chronos is a better blaster than this. I just found myself using this blaster a lot more than I realized. Like after I made the review video, I was still picking it up for productions or just I don't know, I just ended up using it a lot more. I just like that it operates very similar to a Chronos, easy to use, easy to reload, but it has 3 times the capacity. That does give some added bulk. It is not a small blaster whatsoever, but I still like it and I still got a lot of enjoyment out of it. You didn't expect it, I didn't expect it, but number 5 on this list is the Dart Zone Storm Squad. A surprisingly simple blaster, but let me tell you what I like about it. It's pretty fun to pull the trigger to cycle through its 4 dart rotating barrel, giving you a chance to reload. On top we have a built-in scope and it's actually quite nice looking down it. It gives more bulk to the blaster, but it also gives you really nice surface area for you to grip and prime the blaster. Shooting it is a lot of fun. Performance is great. We have a 79 FPS average for it, and from close range, accuracy is pretty good. I don't know if it's a better replacement compared to the Strong Arm or Hammer Shot. Probably not. Just using it gives me that fun feeling I had when I first played with the Maverick. And unlike the Maverick, this is only $5, which is incredibly affordable for what it is. This honorable mention goes to an innovative blaster, one that I've been asking for years, and Adventure Force made it. This is the Sportsman, a $20 manually firing dart hopper blaster. In this hopper, we can hold up to 20 rounds, or 20 darts rather. You can open this up and just shove a bunch of darts in there. You still have to take the time to make sure they're all lined up properly. Still cool. And on the side, you can actually load in the darts individually if you want. The performance and operation of this blaster is pretty standard, up there with your other dart blasters. I do wish the priming grip was a little smoother on the pull back and the pull forward, but the biggest issue here is that this blaster still jams quite frequently. Honestly, to a point where I wouldn't want to use this in a Nerf war. But when it works, it's just super fun to grab a bunch of darts, put them in here, and fire away. I'm glad something like this was made. The Sportsman can be a great springboard for better future iterations, and that potential is what really excites me. For number 4, I have the X-Shot Crusher. This is a manual top priming minigun blaster. In no alternate dimensions is this a practical blaster, but it makes up for that with the experience. Hip fire this thing and you can launch a storm of darts from its 35 dart capacity belt clip. This is a very well designed, comfortable blaster, but I will say the priming handle is a little small. It was a brilliant but almost unnecessary thing to add slam fire to this blaster. That works super great as well, and just seeing this barrel spin and the noises it makes, oh man, it's like eating popcorn at a movie. It's so much fun. A great design choice was made in this belt clip. You can link it and delink it. You can attach a 10 dart belt or a freaking 10,000 round belt if you wanted to. I really enjoy the Crusher and that's why it takes the number 4 spot. You may not know it, but sponsorships help support the creation of my Nerf videos a lot. And I want to thank the Ridge wallet for sponsoring this video. In Nerf Wars, we want to make sure we have the most practical and useful blasters. What people may not know is that just like dart blasters, you can upgrade your wallet. The Ridge wallet is the ultimate solution to compact, convenient carrying of cards and paper bills. Rid yourself of old receipts and that Pilates coupon you know you're never going to use. The Ridge wallet is smaller than the Nerf Gel and just fits in my front pocket with ease. It holds up to 12 cards, cash, and does it all while looking super stylish. Even after I stop getting paid for these sponsorships, I'm still going to use it. It's just superior to my old wallet. Like seeing an awesome Nerf blaster selection, there's a vast spectrum of colors to choose from. Test out the Ridge wallet for up to 45 days, and if you think it's worse than a Centurion, then you can send it back for a full refund. Get the Ridge wallet for 10% off right now by going to ridge.com/legitbread and use the code LEGITBREAD. Link in the description. Now back to the Nerf content. This honorable mention comes from Busby under the Adventure Force line. It is the Rebel Mech. It's one of the latest additions in the semi-auto blaster category, trying to compete with the Strife. Can it compete with the Strife? Absolutely. To me, some of the biggest issues came from questionable ergonomics and design choices, But let's talk about the drum for a second. This blaster comes with a whopping 30 dart drum mag, which should be compatible with a bunch of different darts and a bunch of different blasters. To let you know, I haven't fully tested out the compatibility of it, but it looks nice, the quality is nice, and it's worked well throughout my testing. For $25, you get a solid performing semi-auto blaster and a 30 round drum. That is value. My third favorite blaster of 2020 goes to the Adventure Force Spectrum. To me, this is the true Strife 2.0. The Spectrum looks great. We have a bunch of fun and practical attachments to work with here, including this fold-out bipod grip. If you don't like it, this can be removed as well. It's a semi-auto mag-fed blaster. It works with a bunch of different darts and also different magazines. When it comes to performance, the Spectrum is top tier. From my testing, I was easily getting 90 FPS ranges with the Adventure Force darts, and at close range, it seems much more accurate than a bunch of other blasters I've used in the past. My biggest complaint is that this mag release is not tailored well to all magazines out there. It does catch for certain Nerf magazines I've tried. I've also found that the flywheels apply a lot of friction to the darts, so sometimes little bits of plastic come off from the tips, and over time your darts may sustain some damage. If you're looking for a great semi-auto mag-fed blaster, there's a lot of good reasons to pick up the Spectrum for $25. The honorable mention for the nicest looking blasters of 2020 goes to the X-Shot Royale Edition Meteor and Orbit. We first saw fully gold versions of these blasters given to influencers, and those were exclusive. But those were so popular, X-Shot decided to make these versions, which are available for purchase. Gosh darn, if that isn't nice, I don't know what is. These blasters are worth using, and they're also worth displaying on a shelf. I love saying this line, so I'll say it yet again. My second favorite blaster is also one that I believe is one of the greatest blasters of all time, and that title goes to the Adventure Force Nexus Pro. Where do I begin with this thing? This is the very first high-performance blaster physically available on store shelves, and Adventure Force Dart Zone knocked it out of the park. We have full compatibility with full-length darts and half-length darts. We have an FPS average of like 125, 140, super high up there, like double the amount of regular dart blasters. Deadly accurate. Come on, this was made for the fans. This was made for the community by people who really love dart blasters. If you want to see why I consider this an almost perfect blaster, you can watch my full review up there. Really, the cherry on the top is the $50 retail price tag of this thing. Just an absolute steal for what you get out of the Nexus Pro. This honorable mention goes to a company that made a great budget high performance blaster at the time. I'm talking about Jet Blaster and their Ceda Model S. Just to let you know, this was made before the Nexus Pro. With some sacrifices, the Model S still delivered some high performance and modification capabilities that other competitors have, but at a much lower price point of $90 USD. I was pretty impressed when I first got this blaster. My biggest complaint was this lack of a comfortable grip. The pros of this blaster have diminished now that the Adventure Force Nexus Pro is out, but at the time this was just another good option for people wanting a high performance blaster. It is time to reveal my favorite blaster and one of my favorite all-time blasters. That title goes to the Adventure Force Villainator. When this blaster was first revealed, I knew I was going to like it. I didn't think I was going to like it this much. Let me explain everything I love about this blaster. At the back, we have a comfortable, good length stock, which is actually removable, and you can put it on the Spectrum if you want to. And let's talk about the star of the show here, which is this 40 round drum mag. Fully open for easy reloading. This can also be rotated, and it can be fully removed for reloading or storage purposes. 40 darts is a lot, and it can use a lot of different dart types. Up front, we have a very comfortable angled grip with a short prime, and a short prime makes rate of fire slightly better. And speaking of rate of fire, this has slam fire. Slam fire is just impeccable. It works so well. You could just fire off a barrage of darts. In terms of range and accuracy, this performs very well, and you get all of this for $20. Just, I cannot believe how cheap it is to buy your own Villainator. My only complaint is this blaster is kind of loud. It's kind of loud. Come on, that is barely a complaint. This is essentially a 10 out of 10 blaster to me. For the longest time, the X-Shot Turbo Fire was one of my favorite blasters. The Villainator comes in, just obliterates that blaster. I would have loved a blaster like this 8 years ago, but that technology wasn't even feasible back then. Now that it is, I have nothing more to say. It's going to be hard to beat a blaster of this style. We talked about a lot of blasters today, but we talk about even more in my series, Every Nerf Blaster Explained. You can check that out on the screen or in the description. My throat is very dry right now from talking a lot. Yeah, but anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you do something great today and get that bread.